I'm Khalid Bryan, real estate broker of the Investment Property Gurus here in South Florida. Over the years, we learned that it takes a bit of creativity to really get our clients' needs met. Meaning, a lot of people own properties and they aren't sure what to do with them and they're just sitting there. There's 4 ways you can rent your property out in order to suit your ideal situation. The main one would be the traditional annual lease, where you'd either list your property yourself or hire a real estate brokerage to list it for you, screen, find an ideal tenant, and they'd pay you every month for a 12-month period, and at the end of that period, you would renew the lease with new terms, increase the rent, or whatever you'd want to agree to move on to an additional 12 months. At the end of that 12 months, if you decide it didn't work out with that tenant, you could also move them out, refuse to renew the lease, and just work on getting a new tenant for the next 12 months. The benefits of this 12-month lease is, number one, is going to be the stability it brings, because it's the same person for 12 months. That's a full year where you know how much you're going to get, when you're going to get it, and how often you're going to get it. This is ideal for people who want to be a little hands-off. You could also hire a property management company such as us, the Investment Property Gurus, to manage this property and take care of any and all maintenance requests. It's going to be a very consistent income flow. If you have a good long-term tenant, it's also going to minimize your turnaround times, meaning you won't have to hire another real estate agent to bring a new tenant for quite a while until something happens where this tenant decides to move out for whatever reason that may be. The second, a bit more complex way you can rent your property out is, let's just say it's your personal property, but you have a job that may have you traveling certain months out of the year. Well, if you have the same months per year, every year that you're traveling or are away, I'd suggest a seasonal rental if your homeowners association, if you have one, allows it. The benefit to the seasonal rental is that while you're away, you can have a tenant move into your property, and it's not a different person every week, which could be a bit risky and stressful. Also, it's going to have a lot of upkeep to go with it. The seasonal rental, they're there, say, the winter season. They're there for maybe 3 months, and then they're out. In that 3 months, they're going to clean it. Sure, they'll call you with any repairs or maintenance requests, but you could also then send out your handyman or contractor to fix it. And when they're ready to go, you're ready to come back. So it's just a smooth transaction if you set it up right. The downside to this is sometimes it's difficult to find someone whose season they need matches up with the season you're gone. If you need to get a bit more money per month than what the traditional market calls for, let's just say you have a higher than normal mortgage on your property. You want to rent it out because maybe you don't live there right now. Maybe you're away for work, or maybe you just have a second property and you just need to do something with this one. You could participate in lease arbitrage. What that is you're allowing someone to rent this property from you on an annual monthly basis. Say if the market calls for $1,500 a month, to a lease arbitrager, you would charge, say, $1,600 a month, maybe $1,700 a month if they're willing to agree to it. In return, you would allow them to sublease the property on AirBNB. So they're renting this property from you. It's in their name. They're on the hook. If they don't pay it, they get evicted. Just same as any other rental property. It goes on their credit and all. That way you can get more rent than what the traditional house in your area would get. In return, they would put the property on the vacation rental websites such as AirBNB, HomeAway. They would take care of the bookings. They would collect any income from these bookings. In return, they'll cover a portion of maintenance. Say, hypothetically speaking, they'll cover any repairs under $250 to, say, $300. If it's a large repair, like say your AC went out, obviously you as the owner should take care of that. But again, it's whatever you and this lease arbitrager, who would be the investor in this point, would agree to. The benefit is you get to test the waters of the Airbnb market, see how it really does in your property, and still get that benefit of the guaranteed monthly rent every month. The fourth and probably most lucrative way would be to participate in vacation rentals like Airbnb or HomeAway. This requires a bit more groundwork or a larger team. My company, the Investment Property Gurus, does have a full property management sector, and we do cover vacation rentals, seasonal rentals, short-term rentals, and annual leases. The vacation rentals are going to give you the most income potential, just because you're going to have certain months where it's just an increase, where a lot of people are coming into your town. In the vacation rental sector, it's really important where your property is. Location is probably a bit more important in this sector than it is in the traditional regular rental field. You're gonna want the property to be furnished a certain way. You want to make sure you don't have cheap furniture, cheap sheets. You want your property to be comfortable. You want people to come in, have a great night's sleep, a quiet morning, be able to think, and just make sure it suits the type of people that are going to come in. If you want to go straight out and put your property on Airbnb and be an Airbnb host, a couple more factors come into play. How your property's decorated, where your property's located, how far is it from the airport, how far is it from attractions, do I need to rent a car or can I walk certain places? A downside to this sector is it's a bit more volatile, as in you may have slower months than others, you may have amazing months, you may have months that just set records in your area. You'll need to be in charge of a team, you'll need to manage check-ins, check-outs, consistently marketing your property. Also, your listings are going to be a bit different because the pictures and descriptions are going to be a bit different as far as what's important to people when renting your property compared to others. If you have a property that you're considering renting out and are looking for a bit of help, give us a call. We'll give you a totally free consultation. We'll sit with you, look at your property, and give different variables on what you could expect in rent based on which route you go. If you need help managing, we cover that as well. We have a full property management team, and we look forward to hearing from you and servicing your needs. If you have a property you want to rent out, give us a call and we'll discuss the best options to find the best tenant for your needs. Our team is ever growing and we're constantly looking for new agents to help us help more investors. If you're already a real estate agent and looking for a new home and considering a career in the investment phase, give us a call. We'll meet and see if we're a match. If you haven't started real estate school yet, I highly recommend realestateexpress.com. It's where I went. You can do it 100% online, and I'll put a link in the description with a discount code. If you've already taken real estate school and are ready for the state exam, I highly recommend this workbook for a study guide. I'll put a link as well in the description for this. And again, if you're a landlord or investor looking to further your investment career, there's no better place, there's no better people than the investment property gurus right here in sunny South Florida, ready to take your portfolio to the next level. I'll see you on the next one.